Get pasó, Pack Nation? It is Pack here. Please excuse. Please excuse all of this. It's I'm working on it. Give it time. Also, the camera's like way too high, so I'm like on the bottom of the screen. And I'm like, hi. But that's how we're gonna start this video off. What is up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here, and in today's video, I'm talking about why you're not hitting your full whites and how you can hit them more often. Now, first of all, let me preface this. The only reason I'm making this video is because a lot of people like the why are you not greening video. I was surprised how many views it got. I was just like a random idea I had, and I was like, oh wow, there's actually people want to know about this. So maybe I can make more how-to videos just for fun. I've been playing the game more often than usual. Y'all can't see that, but there was like a white flying thing. Racist. I'm hitting whites, so I'm gonna make more how-to videos just because why not? Just do it! Before this video starts though, be an OG, join the Pack Nation, and subscribe. You literally watch all these videos. It's free, just please. Okay, so 10 reasons why you are not hitting your full whites. Reason number 1, timing. You don't want to hear that. I always start off with the one that's obvious because everyone's like, shut up, I know. Obviously, timing is important in this game. The more close it is to a full white, the closer it is to a green, the better shot it's going to go in, the better chance it's going to go in. If it's a half bar, you should be lucky it even smells the rim. If it's a full bar, you have a much better chance at hitting it. Look at it that way. Sometimes you can have teammates that can have floor general, and that means they can find out what percentages you're at. So let's say your teammate says 50% on a 3-point line. That means 50% of making it when it's a complete full white, not when it's a half bar. Does that make sense? Hope that clarifies it as much as I can. And number 2, it's your overall 3-point rating matters a lot too. If you're a 50 overall 3, don't even be shooting threes unless you're like Joe knows or something. You're not going to be making those shots. Relax, guy. Also, they have like a bunch of badges because they have their legends. Ignore that. If you have a 50 overall 3, don't be shooting them. If you have a 95 overall 3, you're probably going to be making it a lot more often than the guy that has a 70 or an 80 overall 3 open. My brother, he's working on his greens. He can't really green them that well, so he hits full whites way more often than I see most people do, and that's because he has a 99 3-point rating. So yeah, I mean, I expect him to hit his full whites a lot more often than I'm expecting my 80 overall 3 to hit my full whites. Does that make sense? Hope that clarifies it a lot. And number 3 is adding on to that. If all that matters is overall about your rating, then hey, maybe you should go to the boost stand and get yourself some shooting upgrades. That is very, very important. Even when it comes to boosts in general, you want to be able to hit your full whites. That requires you to have the highest overall 3-point rating that you possibly can, and to do that you can get boosts. You can also grind your player to have the best 3-point rating you can, so when you want to max things out. When I was making my build, the first thing I maxed out was a 3 because I was like, I don't want to be useless on my team, so I upgraded that grade. And even then, if you're like a 95 overall and you're really struggling with your 3s, I suggest you start grinding that player in my career and get it up to like a 97 or 98 to really have a better advantage at the 3-point shot, because every time you go up, it's another rating to that attribute. Trust me, it matters way more than people think. And number 4, it is hot zones. In my opinion, this is one of the most important. If you have a cold spot on the court and you're shooting a full white, don't expect it to go in. It really is a bad sign, and that usually means it's probably you're gonna miss that one, Chief. But if it's a hot zone, it's gonna go in a lot more often than if it's not a hot zone. That percentage that you had earlier, I've seen people that had 70% probability of making it at the 3-point line because they have hot zone and they have great 3-point ratings. So that kind of matters too. Again, we're talking about something that is very niche. There's some dudes that you play against that are making full whites and you're like, I'm not making that. It's probably because they're on their hot zones, and even if they're not greening them, they green them most of the time, and because of that, they have a nice hot zone there, which means that they can hit their full whites a lot more often in a spot where most people can't, right? So that's really the whole point of that. And number 5, this one is actually an opinion, so take this one with a grain of salt. I believe that you make full whites a lot more often if you do your hesitation shots. What I mean, let's say you're playing on your PS4 controller. I'll even pull it up right here. On the right stick is when you do your dribble animations or dribble moves. When you're shooting a shot, you want to do a hesitation, which means that you're putting the ball one direction and then you snap it back to the other direction and then you shoot, instead of just trying to shoot it off the rip. It makes your player do an automatic, you do a hesitation and it cancels your hesitation, and then you can shoot it immediately without having to do some weird animation. Also, if you play this game, you already know about that, but people who are new to the game, you probably don't. When I do that, I feel that I make my full whites a lot more often than when I'm doing a weird moving animation, or even at a catch and shoot situation. I feel the hesitation ones go in more often than anything for whatever reason. So if you want to make sure you're hitting more shots than usual, I suggest you start doing some hesitation shots for 3 more often. At number 6 is badges, badges, and badges. This is the most important thing of the game. I'm telling you, just badges, badges, badges. Everything. Hot Zone Hunter is not only going to add on to the Hot Zone you already have, it's going to make it even better, and your percentages are going to go even up. And even that, those full whites might even turn into greens with Hot Zone Hunter. Catch and Shoot, Deadeye. All these badges increase your chance of making it more and more often. Even Volume Shooter, these are all badges that are increasing your percentage of making your shots. If you're hitting your full whites, at least you have a better chance of making it every single time. So these are badges that you're going to want to get. It's going to help your player a lot. You're going to be able to succeed, and that's what you want. You want to hit your shots. Up next is your jump shot. Believe it or not, your jump shot matters. Whatever the data says, I don't care what anybody says. There's just some jump shots that make full whites a lot more often than others. Just like how some jump shots have a bigger green window than others. Some people believe that that's not the case, but playing the game experience-wise, it just is. There's some shots that are better than others. I can give you a whole list of millions of ones, and I even have a video of a jump shot that I know makes full whites, and I can pull it up in the description just for you guys to watch it if you want to get that one. But the jump shots that I know that don't make full whites most of the time, 98, 38, are ones that, yes, you can green better, but full whites, they just don't go in. But with 58, I feel the full whites go in a lot more often than usual. And then also Curry's full whites, I feel like those go in a lot more often than usual. So there's some jump shots that I feel that help. Other ones I feel like you start missing them a lot more often, and that's what you need to rely on and focus on. At number 8 is that you need to understand something. You're not supposed to make your full whites. I understand what your mindset is, right?
He's got the nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall to echo such blasphemous nonsense. Just blasphemy. Absolute blasphemy.
You're playing 2K, you have an open shot, your 3 is a 90, 95 or 92, whatever, and you're like, bro, how do I not make a full white? It's wide open, no one's contesting me, and it's basically a green almost. How did I not make that? I agree, it is absolutely stupid. That's how the game works. The game is trying to force you to hit greens, because if you hit greens, that means you're not going to miss. And if you get good enough at the game, greens can happen most of the time. A lot of good players get 70%, 80% of the time they're hitting a green. And then the other 10%, they're probably getting a full white. So they only miss one shot a game maybe. That's what you want to kind of go for. I mean, if you're only hitting full whites, then you want to make them. That's why you're here. But at the end of the day, focus on getting your greens. I know that you want to hit full whites, but the point is getting green shots, and that's what the game is trying to force you to get into, because that's the best way to play this game. Number 9 is something that, again, people will religiously tell you to don't listen to. I need you to turn your shot meter back on. If you are not hitting greens consistently, turn it back on. You need that shot meter. If you have your shot meter turned off, the game forces you to have less of a chance to hit full whites. That's actually a part of turning off your shot meter. It gives you a boost to getting better greens or more greens more often, but it reduces the time you make the shot when you have a full white. So turn that shot meter back on if you want to hit your full whites. I have my shot meter on. I know people always tell me to turn it off, but I make my shots more often when it's on, and I'm not gonna fight that. And finally, at number 10, you need to understand something. It's luck. It really is. It's a game of percentages. If you hit a full white, that means you have a certain percent chance of making it. You're not going to make your full white every time. I know you want to, I know I get it, but if you want to hit your shots, you have to green. That's the whole point of greening, is that means you're going to make it no matter what. Anything else, you're playing with lady luck. And I'm not guaranteeing you're making anything. I guarantee you, you're going to miss it more than you're going to make it. Almost always. It's very few times you're going to make it. At least the same amount of times you're going to miss it with a full white. It's a percentage game. And as you know, in percentages, it's all about luck, and luck is usually never on your favor. If you ever play poker or anything like that, you know that that's the case. Like, literally, this game is about, like, essentially gambling on your shot. Jordan would love this game. At the end of the day, it's luck. So I know you're gonna get mad at missing your full whites, but it's part of the game, and if you want to make them, you gotta green. So that is the best tips I can give you. Hopefully it helped you a little bit. I guarantee if you follow this list, you're gonna make full whites a little more often, but to be honest with you, at the end of the day, the game doesn't want you to hit full whites, the game wants you to green, so take that as you will. That is it for this video, you guys. Do you guys like my list? Did I miss anything? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like my channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.